Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking, and on Friday the 21st of June, so Midsummer's Day. I haven't seen a lot of summer yet though. I think they may need to rename that today, the longest day, and leave it at that. Okay, so Euro dollar, the Euro dollar, right. So we've run into the resistance from the trend line I've drawn in here before yesterday, and it pulled off that a little bit. It's now coming off a little bit more. Now, important news this morning, and this is may determine whether it's going to be able to break this trend line or continue on this downward projection that we have here from the bigger picture. We've got the French and German flash manufacturing and services data out at 8:15, 8:30, and then the final European figure as a whole at 9. So between 8:15, 9 o'clock, we may determine the future of the euro for the short term now. So those figures coming in, if they continue to come in on a negative basis, you've got to remember the US, and if you're comparing this as we are, the euro dollar, if you're comparing it to the dollar, you've got to think of, hang on a minute, yes, they've got lower production, but they're still not in negative territory. If this is sitting in negative territory, well, it's really summarising the fact that the euro is an extremely weak currency. But there we go. So, expecting downside potential. We'll see what these figures come out like, and it can be it's a nice little wedge pattern there on the 4 hourlies that's formed. Not so clear here. A break of the day, if we start seeing these figures coming out, breaking that daily pivot, well, I'd be looking down towards the S1 maybe today, and that I say 30-minute 200 has just changed this to a 60-minute 100 then. Sort of area, maybe further down here back. There we go. Maybe the 60-minute 200 is beyond there, but really looking down towards this area of the S1. If it starts rolling over and those numbers don't come out well. Pound, if it's good, by the way, the euro, well, just be looking up for a bit more upside for now. The pound, well, it's not even managed to get back to its monthly pivot yet. He says it's quarter to 7. It's the 21st of the month. It's got some time, but it's not looking too rosy at the moment, but we'll see. There is public sector net borrowing coming out 9:30, and that's pretty much it for the. We've got a speaker as well, an MPC speaker. So there is a bit of data that might just create some volatility for the pound. Looking through these time frames, well, again, bit of a wedge pattern, similar sort of pattern that we're seeing on the euro there, and it might follow the euro a little bit this morning. It's just a little bit, so it's a very similar picture. In fact, you could be looking at either of these thinking they're the same currency if you don't look at the numbers down the side. But for now then, again, really this morning, if we see it rolling over, I think it may hold up a little bit better than the euro, and it should hold up better than the euro. Fundamentally, a break of this trend line that sort of the highs through this Asian session may see it running back up towards its R1. Not looking particularly rosy at the moment. Struggled to get back up yesterday. I was looking, didn't get up to the target. I was looking at 127 there. Hasn't got there. There is a raft of buy orders sitting above here, so if it does go back up towards that area, it may just push on through. But at the moment, this may just follow the eurozone. This morning with no other news out. Dollar yen. So if it's good for the euro, it'll probably reflect for the pound as well. Dollar yen, well, we continued yesterday selling off the dollar there, and well, finally come to this little doji bar this morning, and no such big moves today so far, is there? What for? Well, there is the daily pivot, which if it continues to push up, we see a bit of softening coming through these markets. It may be led by any weak data that comes through in the eurozone. We could see a bit of dollar buying, and as a net result, we could see this pushing back up towards its daily pivot today. But intraday trading, otherwise, on this yen has not been the most dynamic of time lately. Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, well, pushed up solidly yesterday. Never really saw any retracement. I'm wondering again if whether it's back into its daily 21 where it's going to roll from here. Bit of divergence across the highs on the 4-hourly. Again, I think we may be led by the Eurozone a little bit here with data, and it actually managed to pitch up a little bit higher on its Asian session push there, so maybe it's got a bit more legs in it yet, but not managing too well. As I say, there is divergence. There is sort of it's consolidating if nothing else. Now divergence often gives one or two things. Either it will roll over, so well, one of three things. Sometimes it will roll over, pull back and push up again, or sometimes it will just consolidate sideward there and then continue in its path. So we'll see. At the moment it's starting to roll a little bit here. Lower high on the 60-minute time frame popped in here already, so looking on for the daily pivot maybe, and maybe more. Okay, that's the Aussie. Finally the Canadian dollar, the 5 majors I'm looking at this morning, and then we'll look at the S&Ps. So Canadian dollar solid price action here. No real surprise with push up on oil to see a continuation. So solid yesterday. It is hanging there on into its S3 sort of level at the moment. No divergences yet, but if we see it break beyond the 32.21 area, well then it would be a higher low in there, and maybe it's a bit of a sign of a reversal. Nothing else here. It's not a great intraday currency. It's much better for swing. Looking at where we are here, it could pitch up towards that daily pivot today. It is above us, so it's got a reasonable probability of being hit. Okay, and then the S&Ps. Let's have a look through what cometh of yesterday. Well, it recovered mostly. You see we ended up in a nice solid bar there, taking just edging the highs of the previous recent highs there out. It did that earlier on, pulled back. It's pushed up again since then, recovered in the afternoon there on the afternoon trading session, or the evening trading session in the UK, or the afternoon in the US. What to from here? Now to me it still looks like it's got more potential, and it's probably just a matter of time before it pitches up towards it, and it's getting closer and closer, 30 S&P points or less away from the 3,000 number. That 3,000 number is becoming a bit of a draw, I'm sure, on it. So we could see continuation in that route today. Right, that's pretty much it for me. News-wise then, I've already covered the French and German manufacturing services data coming out between 8:15 and 9 o'clock. Got some core retail sales for the Canadian dollar, which will affect the Canadian dollar at 1:30. 2:45, we've got flash manufacturing PMI for the US. We've got an FOMC speaker at 5. Not forgetting the public sector net borrowing is not a mover really at 9:30 for the pound, and the MPC speaker, that could be a mover at 1:30. Have a great day, a great weekend. I'll catch you back on Monday.